I don't know how everyone else felt here, but Norm was sick for quite a while, and he got sicker, and I didn't know, and I talked to so many people who I was sure knew. I thought maybe I'm the only one that doesn't know, and so many people, he didn't want anybody to know.
I didn't know.
I remembered when he went, everybody in the community we all thought we were the only one that didn't know, and we were so upset that we didn't get a chance to tell him what he meant to us. And then I very quickly realized he would not have tolerated that. He didn't want it. He didn't want any of us to tell him.
He'd get gross.
He'd get very unhappy.
Treat him different or laugh at his jokes.
I'm sick of these kind of characters. I think we should kill Hitler. Me and you go suicide, kill him.
Right. It was like he died 50 years ago, probably.
Did he? I didn't even know he was sick.
Did want to bring up Norm Macdonald first, if you don't mind, and your thoughts on somebody who I'm sure you've known for quite some time.
Well, I didn't know he was sick at all. It's sad.
And one of the guys who loved him and always had him on the show, is a huge fan, is Jay Leno. And Jay's with us. Jay, how are you, sir?
Good. I mean...
Horrible. I didn't even know he was sick. Were you aware
it's so
of that?
sudden.
No, I didn't know he was sick. You know, he kept it all inside.
Yeah.
And, you know, he was a private person.
And I had a really tough reaction to this one. I didn't have no idea he was even sick.
This guy is my favorite stand-up, and I was shocked. I didn't know he was even sick.
For obvious reasons, we lost Norm Macdonald this week, which was just, I had no idea that he was even sick.
Did you know he was sick?
No.
Absolutely stunned. Had no idea that Norm had not only been very ill, but been very ill for a very long time. None of us had any idea.
I'm used to say goodbye, nothing new to me. Baby, I'm trying to survive, and I know that you believe in a world with happy endings. So tired of pretending.
Joke after his death, it'd be something along the lines of, I was relieved to find out that I died of cancer and not that O.J. Simpson killed me.
Yep.
I think it would be kind of like the epitome of an afterlife joke from Norm there.
F. Lee Bailey said this week that if the defense only knew what Ron Goldman's last words were, they might be able to find the real killer. You know, if you ask me, Goldman's last words were probably, hey, you're O.J. Simpson.
We're back with our remaining moments on Larry King Live. We bring two of the great talents, both formerly of Saturday Night Live, with us. David Spade is in Los Angeles. Norm Macdonald is here in New York. And now...
Hello, Norm.
Say hello to him.
Hi, David. David and I apparently are having some kind of feud. He left this message on my machine.
So what is this?
What is
David?
that?
Did you not want to appear with him tonight?
Norm,
Come on, David. Tell us.
I wouldn't pay $300 to have my hair blow dried to be treated like this.
No, your hair is great. I was just...
Do you feel, David, that the star spotlight has been taken away by you, by McDonald tonight?
No, I don't mind. It should be.
Oh,
Norm's my buddy. Norm's one of the best guys out there. I've been watching this whole show, laughing my head off. I don't think Larry knows that Norm's a little kooky. And he's got some funny stuff to say.
What do you make of that? He's accusing you of not having all the marbles.
Good Lord.
Are you shocked?
Not having all the marbles? I'll tell you something about marbles. I haven't seen a kid playing marbles for years.
China Syndrome is a great rental.
He's doing my column now. Okay.
Of all the colors, blue is my favorite.
Stop that.
Okay. Where is John Stamos?
When do you two go to work together? Why don't you do a movie together?
We'd love to. We've been trying to for a long time, right, Dave?
Yeah. Norm's one of the few super funny guys out there that I'm trying to keep up with. He's a blast, and whatever show gets him next will be in great shape.
Well, David, do you think he's going to do a weekend update on the new Howard Stern show?
It seemed like that's what you told him. So.
It seems like that to me. I don't know why he's in some sort of denial over this.
Norm's a little tricky, but he's in demand, so I think they'll have him if he wants to do it. And
maybe Meet the Press will ask you to do it, and he'll come back then.
Meet the Press would be great. Tim Russert, right?
Yeah, you and Tim.
Me and Tim would be a great...
Load of laughs.
You guys lost me.
He doesn't know who Tim Russ is.
Anything about Tim Russ?
He only knows supermodel.
I get blank stares.
Yeah,
Hey, listen, Larry, you live next to me in Beverly Hills now. You knew Clampett. You're right next to me.
Clampett.
I just heard you're going to come by
don't
my...
give the address.
We're going to I know where you are. You're by Nate and Al's. My house has a water wiggle out front, and you're going to have to come by and hang out with me.
What is that?
What's a water wiggle?
That's his thing for a supermodel.
What an idiot. You're going to be part of Neighborhood Watch with me, and you're going to hold up your end. I don't care if you're out of town a lot.
Where do you live, Norm?
I live in New York City.
Here, the Gotham.
Yeah, the Big Apple.
But I've seen you in L.A.
Yeah,
I saw you with Chris Farley in New York.
Yeah, I saw you
in
Los Angeles, me and Chris Farley.
Yeah, his story doesn't check out, does it, Larry?
No, so you
It's got some holes in it.
I live in Los Angeles.
Good observation, Spade.
I'm bi-coastal.
Get it out,
Bi-coastal, yeah.
Bisexual.
No, what are you doing,
No, I'm
Spade?
kidding. I'm
We've had lots
kidding.
of admissions here tonight. Do you ever miss Saturday Night Live? Both the same question for both of you. David.
I miss hanging out with Norm and some other people there, but I don't miss how hard it was. It was a good 6-year run for me. It was fun.
But you don't miss doing the show?
I miss it in pieces. I'd like to host it, but right now, to do it every week, I'm too old now.
Norm?
I've only been gone like 1 week.
But you, unlike David, you were fired.
Yeah.
So distance is quicker to have. Do you miss it? All right, did you miss it last Saturday night? Did you watch it? You're stumbling.
I tell you something. I don't. Where I live, I don't get Saturday Night Live.
You know what, Larry? They show.
I watch Saturday Night Live, but I don't get it.
Norm was at home
hey,
with.
Stop stepping on the joke.
I don't know. I
Me and
can't.
Larry are doing a little vaudeville here.
I'm 2 minutes behind you on a tape delay.
David, what were you going to say?
I just heard the Siamese twins thing. No, I was saying that Norm sits home and there's just montage music and you hear the road is long and he's watching 6 TVs in his house.
I used to, when I did the show, I'd always take off right after updates so I could watch the rest of the show at home. You know.
Really?
Yeah, because, you know, they want you to stay till the end so you can wave, because everybody waves.
You're not a waver.
Well, it's odd because sometimes the show sucks. And then at the end of the show, you're out waving like a jackass.
But Norm, sometimes at the first 3 years I was never on and I had to count that as a sketch.
David, thanks very much. Norm, thanks very much.
Thanks, Larry.
I want to thank Larry King for hosting this earlier.
Yeah, Larry
Very
was
good.
great.
Thanks for joining us. See you Monday night. Good night.
No, just thinking, you know, because they have that Viagra thing out.
Yeah.
And the other day, you know, Bob Dole came right out and said
he was one of the first.
Yeah. And you know, you don't want to hear about Bob Dole's cock, you know. I mean, President Clinton's cock, Bob Dole's cock. What the hell? But mostly, an old man like that, an old man. You don't want him to have a super hard cock. You know what I mean?
Why?
Why? Because an old man, you want him to be got a pipe going, a newspaper, the dog at his feet there.
Well, that in some corners is considered pipe.
Oh. But now they're going to have to create some goddamn pill that makes women aroused at the sight of a fucking 70-year-old dude with a super hard cock. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. This is Viagra. It's insane. And you know what it's for? Impotent people. All right, it's for impotent guys. So get this. I read this. The pill can make your cock hard for 4 hours.
Right.
So now, who has the 4-hour hard cock? The impotent guy. The rest of us are fucked. Me and you got our regular cocks. Meanwhile, fucking Spade is, you know...
Oh, man. I didn't see it.
I didn't see it coming.
Dude, I know you didn't. He brought it all around and then a vicious rip kick into his best friend's gut.
Once there's too much cock talk, I try to just zone out for a minute till it goes back the other way.
If there's too much cock talk, this guy has fevered nightmares all night. Dreams, I mean, like sweaty, fevered dreams from the cock talk that's been all over his head. Cock.
Why bury me twice? He's killing me.
No, he's a good man.
that erased it. All right.
No, he's a good fan.
Who cares?
After all that, that's the whiteout he puts on.
Yeah, I know, it's awesome.
After he talks about you doing chin-ups on cock for 18 minutes. He goes, no, he's a good guy.
If you're gay, he's a completely straight guy. He gets a lot of ladies. You know that about him with the ladies.
Don't say ladies.
Women, girls.
Okay, thank you. Ladies, what are we, fucking on an FM station here?
He's Don Cornelius.
But these gay guys, man, I was reading, you know about the...
These gay guys.
I haven't even said hi yet. All right. Tell me what it is with these gay guys.
I know, I'm already...
I just read this thing about the Michael, George
You're reading
Michael.
a lot, aren't you?
Yeah, I got a little time off. Now I read the newspaper. And this really strikes me about the gay community. I don't know if they're a community, but
called West Hollywood.
Yeah, they're gay, and it's, you know, George Michaels. He hangs around the bathroom. He has sex with multiple guys. This is
no way. You got to get it right. Hangs around the bathroom, and it was described as a lewd behavior, but I don't remember sex with numerous guys.
Well,
is that what you took away from it?
What does he do?
What were you, in the next stall?
I could have been just having a nice bathroom regular thing.
I don't know what lewd behavior is, but I don't know that he was in there with numerous guys. But anyway, go ahead. We get the gist of it.
This is definitely a gay thing, like, because this is a pop superstar. You know what I mean? You're not going to walk into a bathroom and all of a sudden Farrah Fawcett's like, ah, you know? You're not going to...
What? I love it.
What I'm saying is, why would a famous
what was she doing? Some sort of cervical belt sander thing, or what was that? Oh, Christ, what are you, Linda Blair?
They do. That's what they do. Right?
That's what ladies that I know do.
Good to know that primetime exposure's paying dividends there, big guy.
I think that's what it is. It's that the gay, that's why they have separate bathrooms. Let's face it. If they had women and, you know, women, as you call them, I call them ladies. If you had them in the same bathroom, like you go in the bathroom to do your business, see a man about a dog there, you know, and you're in the bathroom. You're in the bathroom. All of a sudden, a beautiful lady comes out. Oh, here's my vagina and breasts. You're going to be hanging out at that bathroom a lot. So I don't blame anybody for anything.
Can you believe Olmeyer didn't get him?
We're all the same, man.
Have you ever met Olmeyer since then?
Don Olmeyer I met once, yeah, after he fired me.
Yeah.
Then I went and visited him in his office, which was, it wasn't an office I've never seen. It was like a wet bar and a bunch of weird sports trophies. He's a big sports guy, you know.
Yeah.
So he explained it to me what happened, but he did it all with sports stuff, you know. Like he said, man, you see, you're the number 3 hitter, but now you're going to be number 8. And then later on, Ken Griffey will show up. I didn't know what the hell he was talking about. And then I said, well, Christ, man, what the hell am I supposed to do? And he goes, I don't know, just walk it off, you know. And
I'll put it in sports terms why you got fired. You were fucking with OJ too much. That's exactly why you were fired, man.
Well, I don't know.
That's his buddy.
Yeah, it's his buddy.
Yeah, well, that's why you got canned.
OJ's a good guy. I mean, he's not...
Well, we got to end on that, Normie, but there's what they'll remember you by. OJ's a good guy.
Man,
Thanks for coming on. Norm McDonald and David Spade. Stick around.
On your last show, I came out as a deep...
Take me on a journey. Take me far away from this life. I'd leave it in a hurry. Let's run away before morning light. You got me high.
Like some of your friends, like, you know, seriously, like those guys who came out of Saturday Night Live, like Sandler, you, Chris Rock. There's a lot of guys who sort of all of a sudden are like real big players.
Yeah, Norm got his own TV show.
Norm's doing well. What?
What?
Do you hang out with Norm, or is it impossible?
It's pretty impossible because he's crazy.
He is.
In L.A., I call him and he goes, I go, what happened last week? I called you to go on. You called me? And I go, yeah. On my phone? I go, yeah. And he goes, Oh, yeah, I got that. I go, you didn't call me back? No.
And he's serious.
Yeah, he's crazy.
And yeah, I know. Like, I have him on the show.
I love him, though. He's the funniest guy around. I think you need to be kind of crazy to be really funny.
He is very funny. I love him, too. And he has a gambling problem, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was telling us how
secret,
he was all excited that he had $80,000. He won $80,000 in Vegas, but he had lost like $100,000 on basketball.
Right, and that's on nickel slots. That's how serious he is.
Did you always know he had a gambling problem?
Mm-hmm.
You did. When did you know that? At Saturday Night Live?
I first knew he had a pee in a bottle problem.
Right.
Remember that? You always talk about
Yeah, it's
that.
great.
And then I knew...
Does he still save his urine? Do you know?
I don't know. He used to put it in Ziploc baggies, sign it, and send it to fans.
Is that true?
No.
Oh.
But he did. He would take, after Saturday Night Live, they give you a car, a limousine, if you want to go to the party, and he would take it to Atlantic City.
Really?
He's a hard ass. He's hardcore, dude.
I know he'll even get into fist fights.
And then he'll stay at a table for hours and hours.
What do you think of that?
I feel lucky.
And then you don't even know if he's married or single. It's never really clear.
I don't know, but I know girls like him. He's you know, when you're something's that wrong, they pick up on it and like it.
They like the tragedy of that.
Fixer-upper, yeah.
Right. Yeah, I'm gonna make him a regular guy.
Right, but it never worked.
Because David always wore like cool jackets to get girls or whatever.
Did it work? Behind the scenes of that.
Yeah, David gets girls like crazy.
Heather Locklear.
Yeah, like insanely
Name one.
beautiful
It's
girls.
because funny guys are attractive. Yeah. Funny's hot.
You've done a
It
lot
is?
of impressions. Funny.
Most
look at him.
awkward
He's like,
come
really?
on I've ever heard in my life.
All I can say for sure is this, that it works this way with women. If there's one dude who beds a Kardashian and a Paris Hilton, he'll then get to, and a Lindsay Lohan, he'll get to mow through other Hollywood hot chicks.
Like David Spade is that guy.
Yeah, David Spade is that guy.
And I would say he's more, because Warren Beatty was always the gold standard, but Spade doesn't have the looks of Warren Beatty.
He's the aw shucks rapist.
Rapist?
Well, I don't know why you brought up rapist.
My Lord.
No, what I'm
God.
saying is Spade has quietly mowed through the entire bevy of blondes in this town, but he does it in a sort of unassuming way.
Yeah, Spade is an interesting character because he's outside of Hollywood. He makes fun of it, and yet he's deeply inside of Hollywood.
Balls deep, a lot.
Yeah,
many would argue.
No, but you know he'll be on red carpets, and like, I went out with him one time. He's like, "Let's go to a bar." We go to a fucking bar, and then people let us in, which is horrible. Like past everybody, you know? You go, let those guys in.
Yeah, there goes Spade and his bodyguards. His haggard bodyguard.
He's haggard is right. So
you and David Spade
that you like it.
are walking into a bar.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I was saying that?
Yeah.
So we go into the bar, so it's packed with people, and I don't like a lot of people now. And then you get a little fucking plastic drink, and you drink it, and then Spade goes, "Let's get out of here." And I'm like, "What?" And I don't even want to be there, and you're an inch from somebody's face. And so then we go to another bar. He does the exact same thing.
Right.
Let's get out of here. So he just goes places and exits. But
I think there's a power. I think there's a certain power in leaving.
Yeah, I guess there is.
Yeah.
But with women, he plays the long game. Like he's always texting them. He doesn't bed them the night he meets them. Like a year later.
Right.
But he's got so many on
He
his...
fucks them in the bathroom. Yeah, but not on a bed. Never on a bed.
Wait, no.
I hear what you're saying. I'm reading between the lines.
I can't talk about Dave. Now it's going to sound like I'm saying that about David.
No. What he does is he quietly, here's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Here's what I'm saying. If you had a list of the famous coxmen of the town with the Warren Beattys of the world and the Wilt Chamberlains and stuff like that, somewhere in the 13th spot would be David Spade.
Absolutely.
And everyone would go, how do you get on this list? A cute little blonde guy?
I'd
What
put
are you
him
talking
way
about?
farther up than that. Way farther up. I'd put him maybe number one.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
In terms of sheer numbers.
Quietly goes about his business.
Yes, he does. And
until we start talking about it.
I know we shouldn't. But he's very self-deprecating about it. But he also, he knows everything that a young girl knows. Like that beautiful 20-year-old. He can talk to them about keeping up with the Kardashians and whatever the hell.
Right.
And then if I try to talk to a young girl, I go, "You ever watch Matlock?" You know, it wouldn't work. But he has the same exact interest that they do.
Yeah.
So it really works, you know.
I did see that Norm was Letterman's choice to be his last stand-up. I thought that was pretty...
That was a funny bit, too, about
that was great.
World War II.
Well, which one? The funniest bit I thought of Norm's that he said was how your phones change everything now.
Right.
That is a picture. He's got one grainy picture of his great-grandfather, like separating the hogs on the farm.
Right.
But now, because everybody's got a phone right now, somebody from years from now, here's 1 million pictures of my great-grandfather doing everything in their life.
And Norm's face when he did his grandfather.
Yeah, so he's
just horrified that someone's taking his picture. Like, just looking like in shock, like, don't take my picture.
Yeah.
Oh, that was a great bit.
Oh.
But didn't he do the Hitler bit, too? About Germany challenges the world. And then they fought the world again.
Norm Macdonald, and this is not a slam on Comedy Central. Sure, it's not. But, you know, this day's been coming a long time. Fucking. Now listen. They had Norm Macdonald, who's like the most eclectic fucking Renaissance mad mind, hosting a goddamn sports show. That was their idea. That's called putting somebody in a fucking harness. He's hosting a goddamn sports show. Of course, that wasn't. Sports is one of the many. He doesn't even like sports. He just likes gambling, so he knows a lot about sports. You're taking one of the most brilliant minds and putting him in a fucking. I hope your next sports show is hosted by Aaron Hernandez. I'm serious.
Well, pound for pound, Manny Pacquiao is the greatest fighter in the world. This Saturday night, Pacquiao defends his welterweight title in Las Vegas. Now, I don't gamble anymore. You could say I had a bit of a problem. And my bankruptcy lawyers have said as much as well. Hey, Neil, you bet $25,000 on Pacquiao to win. I'm telling you, it's a mortal lock.
I like this Sugar Shane Mosley.
Sugar Shane who? What? You never told me about this guy? Why is he on the cover? So anyways, I'm worried about this guy, and I'll tell you why. He's bigger than you, and he's blacker. And that's what I go on with my boxing. I always pick the bigger, blacker guy. This is a lot of money. I want you to look me in the eye. Are you going to win this fight?
Yes.
The fight is this Saturday in Vegas, and I just want to tell you this is a real ticket. This is not some TV horse. So I really feel good about it, but part of me wishes I'd bet on the other guy.
Perfect reference there. Hey, now listen, did I hear some rumble that Brother Sandler sent out Maseratis to the cast of Grown Ups? Did you reap the benefit?
First of all, let me just say one thing. Nothing's better than Nancy Pelosi Augustus reference.
Pelosi Augustus.
I'm still swooning over that one. Yeah, Sandler gave Maseratis to Spade, Schneider, Kevin James, Chris Rock, all of whom need one, by the way. Very bad.
Exactly. What'd you get?
No bitterness, but me and Norm Macdonald, yeah, we're splitting a zip car.
And you split a zip car with Norm. It's like having one of those, those Christmas trees the drivers have that smells like North Slope Sensimilla.
Yeah, this car. I don't know. They must have been smoking pot in here or something.
Norm cancels on us once every 2 weeks, and I almost enjoy it more than him showing up at this point, because he always wants me to talk to some ventriloquist puppet that he says is on the phone. A Holocaust tonight. What has happened to Norman?
And then when he sees you, he's going to go, how come you never have me on your show?
Nope.
We tried to get you on. What?
Nobody funnier, though. I mean, you got to give it to him.
Nobody funnier.
That guy, if I'm in a room with him for 10 minutes, they got to put the paddles on me because I flatline.
When I worked on his sports show.
Oh, yeah, you know him well, yeah.
I gave him a ride. Then I was staying at Neil's house. Then they're like 2 blocks away in Santa Monica. So Norm goes, it's Friday night. We have off Saturday. Norm goes, you want to come up? I go, no. I go, because I think he's tricking me. Because if I say yeah, then I'm gay. Yeah. So I go, no, I don't want to come up. So I go up. He eventually talks me into going up. It's awkward. So then I leave. Then when we go back to work, he goes, yeah. Then Brennan drops me up. He goes, can I come up? I'm like, what do you want to come up for? He goes, I want to see. I want to see your apartment. I go, the guy must be queer. Like he goes to the whole thing. He's like the boss. He's my boss, so I have to let him tell the story. You know? I can't interrupt.
So
him.
funny. Yeah.
No, it's classic. I didn't know that was one of his classic
he's great
maneuvers.
at that kind of stuff.
You say you're homophobic.
No, he'll do it with anybody. I mean, we went shopping one time when we were doing the movie in Boston, and then the guy's like, he goes, I need to buy jeans. He just walks in and just announces, I need to buy jeans. Like, it's a store full of jeans, but he acts like, it's a fucking, whatever the jeans store is.
Yeah.
And he acts like, I need jeans. And then the guy's like, well, sure. What size do you like? He goes, and so-and-so. He goes, all right, just go in the back of the boot. What? Go back there and you want me to take my pants off? Look at this guy. And he starts telling all the other customers, this guy just told me to go in the back and take my pants off. I just came in to buy clothes. This guy wants me to go in the back and just take your pants off. I'm in my underwear.
Was he saying that to him was somebody there with him, or was just?
I was with him.
Oh,
the whole store's laughing, but it's like,
oh my
what?
God.
He just causes a fucking ruckus.
That's classic.
Well, I don't understand what complex mathematics is, but one time I was in an elevator with Norm Macdonald, and we're in the elevator with these guys, because Norm Macdonald in an elevator is very, he'll he will literally say the worst thing you can say about somebody and then leave, and you're left there with all the people. That's his thing, one of his things. But there's two guys who were talking about some complex mathematic thing. This is in the late 90s at 30 Rock. And they're saying this, I didn't even understand what language it was. It was a really deep mathematic thing. And then Norm Macdonald, who had never brought up math or anything like that to me in his life, goes, yeah, and starts speaking to them in this, what sounded like tongues. And they're like, oh, but, and they start speaking the binary, and he goes, and he starts speaking this mathematic talk, and then they leave. And then he goes to me like, yeah, those guys are nerds or something like that. And I was like, what? How do you know that? How did you know what they were talking about?
How did he know?
He's like,
he's a nerd too.
He knows something deep, he knows these things sometimes.
He's a very smart guy.
Really smart.
Yeah.
One of those guys that just, he'll just pretend not to know something. And he'll be like, that's like, and then you're like, what? Anybody walks in the room, he knows what they're talking about,
Yeah, he's the guy that really should have had a podcast a long fucking time ago.
Right,
and I know
right.
he's doing something now. He sent me a text message the other day that he's starting to do a podcast now.
Hey, Joe,
man,
I'm doing
finally
a podcast.
Doing that thing we talked about. He should have done a lot because he had that show on Netflix, but they muzzled him when he went on the Howard Stern show.
Right.
And he was saying something, and he didn't want to say retarded, so he said, you'd have to have Down syndrome to believe that. Because he thought that'd be a better thing to say.
But here's the thing about Norm. I'm still not sure if he thought that would be a better thing to say.
Right, you never know.
Because he's so smart. He might have been doing it as a double troll.
Yeah.
No, Norm is capable of the double troll. It's like, I don't want to say retarded. Down syndrome.
The double troll, exactly.
Yes, he's the master of that stuff.
I randomly wound up sitting next to him on planes twice. On two different occasions, just I go, Norm, out of nowhere, and he's sitting next to me. And one time, we're sitting there, we're talking, and we're having a good old time. And then he's talking about, I quit smoking. He's telling me how he quit smoking and finally quit smoking. And he's telling me all these things. And then when he lands, he literally, he can't stop himself, runs into the airport store and buys cigarettes. And he's lighting it as he's leaving. I go, I thought you quit. He goes, I did. But all that talking about smoking makes me want one. And he's like, before he even got out the door, he's lighting the cigarette. He just couldn't stop himself.
But he goes, all that talking. He's the one talking about it. All that talking. He always puts it on you. That's what's great about it.
But
he's like, this guy talks about smoking. He got me back smoking.
But it was so crazy because I was like, that's great, Norm. It's so great you quit. And he's like, fuck, I want a cigarette.
Yeah. No, he always do I don't drink, I quit drinking. And it was like, oh, really? Did you drink a lot? Yeah. I quit. I finally had to quit, It's hard, but I did it. And they're like, oh. He goes, yeah, because I got fucking wasted last night. And I said, I'm never going to drink again. I was drunk. And people are like, wait, I thought you quit. Yeah, I quit. That's what I'm saying. He's always...
Last night?
Yeah. It's like an elaborate, like Abbott and Costello routine.
Yes, exactly. Well, the gambling too. He fucking loves gambling.
Yeah,
loves it.
Oh yeah,
yeah. But that's a thing. Like a lot of these great comics are like really impulsive.
Yeah.
It's like something about like the ability to say some of the crazy shit that he says.
Yeah.
It's you have to have this like hot wire.
Yeah.
It's just like, yeah. You just want to touch it. Ah.
Yep. Oh no, he's one for the books.
Yeah.
On the subject of SNL, and it's sweet when you took over for Norm, and Gilbert and I haven't said anything. Gilbert, I don't know. Have you spoken publicly since Norm passed about him, Gil?
I think I don't know if I.
We haven't said anything on this show, which we would like to do now. You both knew him well, but the bartender speech when you took over, and obviously it was a very awkward period for you.
Oh God!
To be stepping into that role, and also a friend's job.
Yes, yeah. It was like we lived in the same building too.
You know how you go to your favorite bar, and your local bartender isn't there? You ask, "Where's Jeff?" Jeff no longer works here. I'm Steve. And you're thinking, "Hey, who's this idiot? I like Jeff." But you still want your drink? And even though Steve doesn't mix your drink the same way you're used to, like Jeff, you still like the bar. You don't have to go to a different bar. And even Steve might feel kind of bad because Jeff trained him.
Did he ever say anything to you about that? Did he ever give you a blessing?
He was so he was so classy in not saying anything.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's all.
You have that great I'm Steve, what can I get you?
Yeah.
The bartender piece.
Well, I'm Steve. What can I get you?
But I wish it would have stayed the way it was. But, you know, it is what it is. But, yeah, Norman's he's so funny. He was so distinctively funny. You know?
Nobody like him, really.
No, he had his own thing. You know what I mean? He was just very, well, like Gilbert. I mean, they just have their own, they march to their own drummer, even in a business where everybody marches to their own drummer. They both have that, you know, idiosyncratic thing where it just be like, this is how I am, and that's it. And it's great. But, you know, you have to tune to their frequency. You know, it's not like you can just, you know.
You know what's funny about that first update you did? Here's Norm being fired, as we all know, by Don Ohlmeyer,
right?
Because of cutting too close to the bone with the OJ jokes. When in fact he was doing a public service by telling those OJ jokes. And I'm watching you do your first update. There's an OJ joke. It's like the third joke.
Yeah.
In the February issue of Esquire magazine, O.J. Simpson said that if I had killed Nicole, it would have been because I loved her very much. And then he said, and if I had killed Ron Goldman, it would have been because he accidentally witnessed me loving Nicole very much. Somebody should buy this guy a John Gray book, all right?
You shook his hand once? O.J.? Getting out of a car?
Well,
he was getting out of a limo?
He was getting out of a limo middle of the afternoon. And I have no psychic energy. I've never had those kinds of things, you know. But for whatever reason, this was in an afternoon. He's getting out of a limo with a girl. It's spring break. It's packed with people. It's Florida. And they're like, hey, do you want to meet OJ? I go, yeah, OJ. He's greatest running back of all time. You know, great, charming movie star. I shake his hand. He shakes my hand. And he's not even looking at me. He's looking past me. And he shakes my hand. And I felt like a jolt of, like, evil. I swear to God.
It's like the Dead Zone.
That's what it was like. That's what it was like. And I was like, that was weird, OJ. I love OJ. Well, that was weird energy, you know.
Wow. So you picked up on something.
I feel like I did, you know. It's, of course, in retrospect, but I remember telling people at the time, so.
I was also fond of, going back to your SNL bits, Colin Quinn Explains the New York Times.
Yeah, that was a good one.
And the St. Pat's editorial and Joe Blow. You look like you were having fun, and the best stuff is you and Norm together.
That's right. That's right.
There's obviously an affection that comes across on the screen.
Yes, yeah, and that was the early days of it. It was great.
I'm sorry we never managed to get him here. We tried, and for whatever reason, he was as elusive as you.
He's more elusive. He's like,
he was.
I love to do it. I'd love to. You're like, oh, good. How about next week? Yes. What day? And you're like, okay. Yeah. He's like, all right, call him and we'll set it up. next week is perfect because I'm doing this. And you're like, hey, how's it doing? Years later, what happened? What? I thought I was going to come on your show. What happened? It's like, oh, Jesus, Norm.
Well, like you say, march to his own drum.
Yeah.
Well, I can tell a joke.
Go for it.
Yeah,
please do. Please. Yeah.
There was a little boy in school named Dirty Johnny. Now, he's not dirty in this joke, but he'd always be a hellion in class, and the teacher didn't think much of him. So the teacher has a project, or not a project, but an in-class thing. How'd that go again? She says, now, this is what you're going to do here, class. I want you to stand up and tell the class what a story from your life, and then afterwards say the moral to that story. So a girl puts up her hand. Yes, Becky, what's your story? So Becky stands up. She goes, my dad works for the hatchery here in town, and what happens was he got about 15 eggs, and he put them all in one basket, all in the same basket. So he put all his eggs in one basket. And he put it on the horse and buggy and drove back home. And by God, Becky says, the bouncing and all the eggs broke. Well, that's a good story, the teacher says, but what would the moral be to that? Becky says, well, the moral is, don't put all your eggs into one basket. But goddamn, says the teacher, that's a good one. Anybody else? Marjorie puts up her hand. Marjorie, what's your story? She says, well, my dad worked for the hatchery, as all of us. Thank God for the hatchery. She says, or we'd all be lost. But anyways, my dad knows that eggs become chickens. And so he was counting his chickens, and he added in the eggs, you see. And then he put them on a horse and buggy to go to town, and they all broke. Well, what's the lesson to that? The teacher says. She can't understand. And she says, well, don't count your chickens before they hatch out of an egg. So the teacher says, that's a great one, too. Anybody else? Well, wouldn't you know, Dirty Johnny has his hand up. So the teacher's like, holy God, I don't want it. But on the other hand, I made an oath to every child, should I suppose I gotta. All right, Dirty Johnny, what do you have to say? Johnny stands up. The story's about my Uncle Terry. He never worked at the hatchery. On account he was in Vietnam, and he got disability. He don't even like people work at the hatchery. But the story happened far from these shores, in a little town called Da Nang. Terry was not well liked. His whole troop left him, abandoned. And he woke up in the weeds, and all they left him with was 3 bottles of Jack Daniels, some weapons. Terry stood up and downed 1 bottle right away. Said, if I'm going out, I'm going out. And he took his Balishnikov and a couple of Glocks and his 2 bottles, and away he went. He found a town. And he didn't know if it was Charlie or if it was one he was sent to protect. But all he knew was he had hate in his gut. So he started firing. And he fired the Kalashnikov with an arcing kind of, like a farmer would with hay, with a scythe. And sure enough, the men fell like hay before him. And then the women, and by God, I'm ashamed to say it, but then the children. And finally, all was left was Uncle Terry standing in the mud and the blood and the glory. And he touched his pants, and it was wet, and he said he was ashamed. He felt shame, Uncle Terry, for he'd pissed himself. Well, he touched it again. It was not urine at all, but ejaculate. And Uncle Terry felt pride where shame once was. And the teacher's like, good Christ, what kind of a story is that? What the hell is the moral to that? Oh, well, he says, when Uncle Terry's been drinking, you don't fuck with him. Now, especially if you work at the hatchery. Now, listen. So listen, guys, this has been fun, hasn't it?
This has been probably my favorite. Good. It saves me a trip to my senile uncle. So that's.
So when you started Incredibad
/ The Lonely Island.
Yeah, The Lonely Island. What's the significance of that name, though? That's what really I wanted to ask. The Lonely Island. You think of all islands as kind of lonely.
Do you really want to hear the story?
Yes, please.
I do
I
too.
do a real short version, which is just basically was what we called the apartment we lived on Olympic with all the traffic. It was a sarcastic name from a sarcastic Tennessee Williams style sketch we did about the apartment.
Akiva wrote a one-act play.
God damn, I wish I had a time machine.
To see that action.
Yeah, no, to take back my question.
Thought you were going to say to murder Hitler.
I would not. You know, people always fucking want to murder Hitler with their time machine, right? But then I feel if I got back there, I'd be afraid of falling under the spell of his fucking beautiful eyes.
It's true. You
want oratory, and then
get locked in the gaze.
Yeah, and then I join the fucking party.
That's
knowing
his
me.
thing. He gives you his full attention. You're like, whoa, wait a minute. Maybe there's something to this guy.
No, but before you ask another serious
Believe
question,
it or not,
we
they're
gotta
telling
move on.
us to wrap it up. I don't exactly know why you got
What? This was fun for everyone.
It's the
For the
Lonely
record,
Island, guys.
I would have killed Hitler. So thanks, gentlemen.
Can I just clarify? if I did go back in time to kill Hitler, I would do it.
Yeah.
I wouldn't get
That's
lost in
the
his
front
eyes
door
and then
choice.
bail.
Yeah.
Just so I don't get hit from all the
I know, all the-
defamation
Yeah,
leads.
no, you would end it. Yeah.
Pro.
Listen, man, I'm sorry about.
We gotta wrap it up.
I'm sorry
It's
about
over.
bringing up Hitler.
You really brought this live show to a new
This is
level.
the first one, right? This is your first interview?
It's just gonna get worse from
This is
here.
the first time I've ever interviewed a man.
If you can bring Hitler into all of them, they're going to ask you back for sure, which is I know what you want.
That's what we're all hoping for.
Okay.
I'm sick of these kind of characters. I think we should kill Hitler. Me and you go suicide, kill him.
Right. It was like died 50 years ago. Probably.
Did he? I didn't even know he was sick.
He wasn't. Well, no, that's fine.
I wish I could find a Hitler of today and go kill him.
Now let's take us back in time. You started. You say.
I wish I could. I don't know.
Figuratively.
If I could take you back in time, first I'd kill Hitler, but then I'd ride a dinosaur or something. I don't know what you wanted to do, but these are some things you'd have to do first. I would invest in Coca-Cola. There's a lot of things I wouldn't do if I could go back in time, but unfortunately I can't. You're probably going, oh, well, this guy can go back in time. Why hasn't he? Well, that's an interesting question you ask. Because I don't have a time machine, and I don't know any portholes in the atmosphere that I can go through, and that's about the only scientific stuff I could say is portholes, and maybe that's just for
What
boats.
year would you go back to if you could go back in time? What year?
If I could go back in time, I'd go back a year ago and just get a pastrami sandwich or something from some place that closed 2 months before. But so I don't, because if you could just go back any time, then that would be fine.
Well, then, let's go down memory lane just a little bit.
Yes.
Okay, when
I
did
thought
you?
he just went there. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Yes, I'd say hello to Jesus.
I'm sorry.
If I could go back in time and say, hey, between you and me, I think, maybe keep your mouth shut. It's getting people angry. You're really not making any friends here. Eventually, you'll be famous. Trust me. But right now, maybe you just want to, pull back a little.
Go ahead, Angela. Hop in here.
Didn't you once perform at a hospital for the insane?
Yeah.
What are you drinking? What are you drinking?
Fanta Orange.
Of course you
fantastic.
are. Of course you are.
Fanta Orange is.
Yeah.
You like the Fanta Grape too, right? I'm assuming.
I have a grape Fanta for when my friends have
Oh, don't do that, Norm.
What?
Norm.
I always have it here. But I know. No, I did do a hospital. It was supposed to be a regular hospital. And when I got there, there was barbed wire and everything, and it was a hospital for the criminally insane. And they had an incredible, room. And they said the Gatlin brothers were here last week. And I was like, what? Like, I wasn't even sure they deserved a show. And anyways, I went on. I got heckled before I said anything. As I was walking towards the stage, a guy yells out, nice shoes. Now, these guys are not politically correct.
No, right.
These are criminally insane people, you have to understand.
Right.
And then the guy beside him goes, Jerome's right, them some shoes.
No. Norm. Okay. I don't. Well, now what do we do?
Every dumb button at ESPN was just
okay. Look at you guys with your. Is he still there? Or did we lose him? Once we dump him twice, do we lose him, or do we still have him there?
Give me a second.
Okay.
Let's have a talk with Norm.
All right. All right. We'll come back and do celebrity prognostication with Norm McDonald.
We think.
This is the Dan Le Batard Show with the Stugats on ESPN Radio.
Our thanks to Hank Azaria for joining us earlier. Norm McDonald needs to make his NFL picks for this week, so he rejoins us here on the Shell Pennzoil Performance Lud.
We like awkward around here. He's better at awkward and uncomfortable than we are. Mike Ryan's objection to the continuing of this segment has been duly noted.
I would say Norm's the best ever at awkward and uncomfortable.
He's awkward and uncomfortable, yes. And he's got a new book out based on a true story. That's the title of the book. It's available September 20th. Our executive producer, I am responsible for whatever it is that happens next because Norm was dangerous last segment. So, Norm, can I ask you to behave yourself within the context of Norm McDonald behaving himself while we do these celebrity predictions, please?
Oh, yes, of course. Everything I said had a quotation mark around it. It was someone else saying it.
I understand. That's right. You did say that. There was somebody else saying that. And the story, you didn't get to the end of the story, right? So you were being heckled. Don't use the words again. But you were being heckled.
I'll tell you, the end of the story was a criminally insane guy made his way to the stage and started biting my leg. and then that worked really good.
Okay, so that's
none of my jokes were working.
Right.
I remember one joke. I go, "How many of you guys have an answering machine?" And this guy goes, "None of us." And the guard goes, "Tuesday's the day for any complaints, Kowalski, and you know it." I'm like, "Oh." He goes, "Pipe down, let the man speak." I'm like, "This isn't going good."
I love a set ending with you being bitten. Will you guys quit being uncomfortable in there? Come on, it's Norm McDonald.
I prefer the Indian casinos. That's what I like, because I don't want to give my money. If I'm going to lose money, and I'm going to lose money, I don't want to do it in Las Vegas to a bunch of corporate businessmen. I would rather go to an Indian casino and lose it to the Native Americans, on account of my forefathers systematically murdered them years ago. Which, looking back on it, way out of line. Way out of line. Anyways, I look at it as a form of reparations, you know? And I tell you, I've done my part, goddammit. Probably done your part, too. Anyways, I love casino.
Melissa McCarthy is Norm Macdonald.
Thank you. Thank you, but I am sorry I cannot, in good conscience, accept this award on behalf of Melissa McCarthy. I instead have chosen to give my time to a friend who has something very important to say.
My name is Johnny Two Feathers. While you enjoy tonight's show, I want you to think about something. The spot where you're sitting, every square foot of ground in this country was stolen from my ancestors. And after you stole it, you murdered them. So you'll forgive us if we do not laugh along. There is nothing funny about the extermination of a people. The theater stinks of blood. That's all I have to say. Oh.
Johnny Two Feathers, everybody. Johnny Two Feathers. Give him a wave, Johnny. Johnny, you don't want to wave? All right. Well, Johnny Two Feathers, everybody.
Probably just like masturbating in a dark room.
Angry over the Atlanta Braves and Cleveland Indians' use of Indian caricatures as logos, Native Americans showed up at the World Series tonight. They chanted for hours to protest Indian stereotypes, though it didn't help their cause any when it started to rain. Native Americans in upstate New York are trying to block plans to build a Kmart on the site of a Mohican burial ground. In addition, they were upset to learn that sales at this particular Kmart will be announced, "Attention Kmart Savages." In Michigan, State Historical Commission officials say they will not interfere with the building of a new major sports stadium, even if construction unearths historical artifacts. However, state Indian Affairs officials say that if relics from a Native American tribe are found, they would like to have the land set aside and designated as a sacred tribal burial ground / giant casino. In Wisconsin, students at Menominee High School are desperately fighting efforts by the politically correct to change their team nickname the Indians. Already, opponents of the name have rejected the students' first compromise, the Drunken Indians. They feel that's almost worse in a way, you know? In Bridgeport, Connecticut, the Staticoti Indian tribe is seeking recognition by the Bureau of Indian Affairs in order to open either a manufacturing company or a casino. I wonder which one they'll choose. Manufacturing company or the casino. In Norwich, Connecticut, a local museum has made a long overdue effort at racial reconciliation by returning 21 ancient tribal artifacts to the Mohegan Indians. But as for everything else in the country, we'll be keeping that. It's good news, really. We don't have to give any of it back.
It's like the difference between the Cleveland Indians and the Washington Redskins. I can see where Redskin might upset somebody just a little. I don't think you're ever going to get it changed, but at least it is a bit denigrating. But Indians, isn't that? I never understand that.
You don't understand that?
No. What?
Well, here's the thing, man.
Or Braves.
I have no formal education, and as a matter of fact, I don't have any informal education. It's not like I'm hanging out with professors on the weekend, right?
Yes.
But this is the way I understand it. Old Chris Columbus, he sailed over here,
right.
and then he got here, and he thought it was India.
Jesus, what a dolt. And that's the source of us all.
Yeah, so he goes, hey, man, look at all those Indians.
All right. Oh, that's it.
And then one of his buddies goes, hey, man, we took a wrong turn at the middle of the Pacific Ocean. This is America. and then he goes, hey, you Indians better get the hell out of here. You're not even in the right country.
Well, once you're about to take a country from somebody, you cannot refer to them as Native Americans. It only makes your task harder. They will fight harder because you've already told them you assume that it is their property. But my feeling is at some point there were an ice people, a horde of, almost Piltdown men-like creatures who the Indians or whatever, the Native Americans came in and took this from. Isn't that the way of the world, Norm? That eventually everybody takes something.
What's a Piltdown, man? You talking about the old days?
I'm sorry to throw you off the scent of the conversation. I'm talking about in Paleolithic times. I assume that the Native Americans were not native here either, but came down and took this from somebody else. That's just the way of the world.
Yeah, everybody takes everything. Listen, Mother Nature is a brutal bitch.
Mm-hmm.
A red-clawed,
paint the picture.
Machine that eats and
shrieking harridan.
Yeah.
Little one, you've been away so long, and I need you now more than forever.
So, Jenny, what month was your issue?
Quoting Churchill.
May of 08. Who was on the cover? Do you remember?
It was a Russian girl.
Uh-oh.
And my nickname's Genocide, so I think that was kind of funny.
What?
What? What do you mean?
Is Genocide giving her comedy fucking advice?
Why is that? It's funny because there was a genocide. In Russia?
Only about 70 years ago.
Against the Russian people.
Who still lives?
But me. That's not a
You
genocide.
first.
Huh?
Check her back. No, it was
Oh, the 700.
it wasn't a complete genocide.
What do you mean?
No, it was.
Well, Stalin was a mass murderer.
Only Jewish people seem to get really offended by my nickname.
There are fives in a cake.
Dave's getting bored.
Right, well, because they're the only ones that live.
Well, the only true genocide was the.
Sam, another one this way, Sam.
That was a true genocide.
Wow. What?
The American Indians was a true genocide.
No, that was for land.
No, that was justified.
That was for land. We were taking their property.
No, it doesn't matter. What doesn't matter what the motive
No,
is.
the genocide.
Yeah, the motive is to just hatred of a race to exterminate them without a political or economic agenda.
Well, we did with the Indians.
Well, it's not justifiable.
No, well, who's saying it's justified?
I said it's well.
We got to bury that.
I'm just wondering how it's justified.
One counterpoint.
You've never heard the legal term justifiable genocide? Hitler was out of his mind at the time. Clearly insane.
I got to work on the Norm Show, his kind of short-lived sitcom. I think it was only on for 2 seasons, maybe. And it was him, Max Wright, the dad from Alf, Laurie Metcalf, awesomely, and Artie Lang. It was maybe the most dysfunctional cast I've ever been lucky enough to work with. Laurie hated being there, even though she's a genius actor and a genius sitcom actor, but she hated it. She hated the cameras, she hated the audience, she hated everything. She just wanted to move back to Chicago and do theater with her daughter at the Steppenwolf. Max Wright is a crazy town. He's the guy that would miss table reads, and he would just be like in New Hampshire in a ditch, like his car driven off the side of the road with a lap full of empty champagne bottles. And then he was famously on the cover of the National Enquirer, one of those rags, hidden cameras, doing crack with gay homeless guys. Awesome stuff.
Ditches, they're not. Ditches used to be a happening spot, basically up until maybe the 1970s, I want to say. Things were going on in ditches, but now, it's, it's trash or nothing.
Yeah, it's all, these days, it's all ravines. It's mostly a ravine kind of situation now.
Back in my day, we had a ditch and we were happy about it.
Yeah. Luxury. We used to dream about being in a ditch. So on the night of the show, because Norm didn't really rehearse that hard. Laurie Metcalf, on the other hand, because she is a consummate professional actor, she really rehearsed. She took notes, and every rehearsal throughout the sitcom week, she was trying things out and really like digging in and like experimenting and exploring. And everybody else is like comics and lazy, and you can I'll be funny on the night. And Norm didn't really rehearse that much. And before the show, this is the first time I'd ever seen a sitcom do this. And we were shooting at Warner Brothers. And also, if the police are on their way, Spencer, make sure that you warn a brother.
How often does that come up? I mean, that's great, but how often can you fit that into?
I saw a dude with that shirt with the WB logo, the WB, and it said, "If the police come in, Warner Brother." It's a great shirt. We met in the green room where normally it's reserved for the network exec mucky mucks to watch the show and pass judgment from on high. The whole cast met up there, and guest stars like myself. I was just a guest star on it, and to do a speed read before the show, which I'd never seen before, like to really just speed read the entire episode. And I got the impression that it was basically for Norm. That is this story ringing a bell to either of you? Did I just tell this story on the show?
Not just, but yeah. Then you said, like, weren't you talking to Artie Lang about how he how he just gets blasted and gets like? To me it sounded like I imagined like a moving dolly, and he was just like on the dolly, and he just like rolled him in.
No,
I don't know.
He was gone for like an hour and a half. The audience was loaded in, so I know I'm repeating myself now. But we were all worried about it, Norm. I'm like, does this happen a lot? And Artie offered me a cigar. I'm like, I don't smoke, but can I take one for a friend? He's like, yeah. He gave me this nice like Nat Sherman cigar. And or like little cigarillo kind of thing. And if you can imagine, I knew Artie a little bit, but Artie was like, he seemed like the level one, like the level-headed guy in the cast, comparatively to everybody else in this weird-ass group of people. And Norm came in, he had done a bunch of Xanax, and then when the taping started, he was perfect. He was absolutely perfect. There's a good story Sam Simon told me, because Sam Simon was executive producer on that show. And Norm, as funny as he is, one of the greatest comics of all time, and certainly a comics comic, and he will certainly be missed by everybody. He's funny. Norm's not a great dramatic actor, apparently, and there was a scene when he fucks up like his love interest in the show, and I'm blanking on the actress's name, but he steps in it. He does something stupid, and she's like, you know what? I don't ever want to talk to you again. Like this is over. I was like, fuck you. This is the end. And she slams the door, walks out, and slams the door behind her. And that's the end of the scene. And I think that was a commercial break. And Norm in the script is supposed to look very sad. So she would do the line in rehearsal, and she would go, I never want to talk to you again. Slam. And then Norm would just stand there. And just waiting for someone to yell cut. And Sam would go, okay, so Sam geniusly found a way to make Norm act sad. Sam took his watch off and took his wristwatch off and placed it on the floor about 5 feet to the right of Norm. So when the actress, he goes, Norm, when she leaves, watch her walk out, slam the door, take a beat, and then look at my watch. So that's how they did it. Like teaching a dog to act.
But that's another.
And then he just went, and it worked. Fucking genius.
But that's part of what's so crazy is because it simultaneously felt like it was so well put together, so rehearsed, but also so natural. Like he didn't even know what he was saying was funny, like he doesn't even get the joke. But it was always simultaneously. You could almost you could never pin him down. And I don't know. I think he seems, especially now that he's gone, he definitely seems like a hard guy to pin down. I don't know.
In Milwaukee, Wisconsin, a man allowed his 8-year-old daughter to take the wheel of his car, and an accident ensued that damaged 7 other cars and injured 6 people, which once again proves my theory. women can't drive. New medical research shows that men and women have different food cravings. Men preferring meat and women preferring sweets. Scientists trace this back to caveman days, when men had to go out and hunt for food while women sat on their fat asses eating chocolates. A celebrated fertility statue, which many believe has the power to make women pregnant, began a nationwide tour this week. The hundreds of women who claim it caused their pregnancies are of different ages, races, and religions. But they all have one thing in common. They are all dirty, dirty whores. A new book claims that Madonna once smeared peanut butter all over John F. Kennedy Jr.'s body and then licked it off, which just goes to show you Madonna's a whore. In other show business news, it has been reported that superstar Madonna is pregnant. Although personally I find this a bit hard to believe. I mean, Madonna isn't even married. It's like crazy. And finally, Weekend Update would like to congratulate Madonna, who gave birth to a beautiful baby girl last Monday. The baby weighed in at 6 pounds 9 ounces, making it the 4th largest object ever to pass through Madonna's birth canal. I like that Madonna's baby thing.
Oh, yeah.
Funny.
Oh,
you know, it's, I really have to give it to that guy that's the father, you know, Carlos...
Leon.
Carlos Leon.
Or Carlos Leon, I forget which one.
Because you got to have a lot of guts. That means he had sex with Madonna without a condom. That's great. Pop singer Madonna was outraged this week when a tabloid photographer snapped her picture while she was breastfeeding her new baby. Apparently, the baby was blocking her nipple. Well, filming has finally begun in the long-awaited life story of Evita Peron, starring pop singer Madonna. According to its producers, the film is 100% historically accurate, except for the part where Mrs. Peron has group sex with the Houston Rockets. Texas millionaire J. Howard Marshall may have died 2 months ago, but as we see here, he and wife Anna Nicole Smith can still enjoy a romantic evening at home. Former Playboy centerfold and Guess jeans model Anna Nicole Smith collapsed this week after she suddenly realized that she actually had sex with this guy. And finally, in entertainment news, ex-Playboy centerfold Anna Nicole Smith has filed for bankruptcy. And saddest of all, she slept with this guy for nothing. Well, the Learning Annex in New York is offering a new course to teach women how to smoke cigars. The fee to enroll in the class is $100. The fee to watch the class is $200. According to a new study from Yale University, in order to duplicate the physique of a Barbie doll, the average woman would have to grow to 7 feet, add 5 inches to her bust, and trim 6 inches from her waist. So ladies, you have your mission, now get to it. Hollywood prostitute Divine Brown has written a book describing in lurid detail exactly what she did with Hugh Grant. The book sells for $25, but for $35 she'll show you. Former British cavalry officer James Hewitt, who was Lady Diana's secret lover, says he will never, ever disclose the contents of more than 100 love letters that she sent to him. This, according to Hewitt's new book, I Banged a Princess. Under a new ordinance, exotic, nude, and topless dancing will be banned in any establishment selling alcoholic beverages in the city of New Iberia, Louisiana, or as I now refer to it, the most horrible place on earth. Exotic dancers say city ordinance requiring them to keep 4 feet away from their customers will put them out of business in Shoreline, Washington, or as I now refer to it, Nazi Germany. In sports, distance runner Jutta Pippig set a record by winning her 3rd consecutive Boston Marathon, despite suffering from both her period and diarrhea throughout the 26-mile run. In addition, Pippig also set a record for causing the most spectators to make this face at a Boston Marathon. Well, Jocelyn Elder's new book, Jocelyn Elder's MD, came out this week. I read it. After closing out a successful first season, the WNBA is considering several changes to improve the level of play in the league next year. Among the proposals, extending the playoffs, increasing salaries, bringing back the three-point line, and replacing all the female players with guys. The WNBA officials expanded to 10 teams this week, adding franchises in Detroit and Washington, D.C. But before you get too excited about the new additions to the league, remember, all of the players are still women. They stink at basketball, that's the problem. Other than that, it'd be a good, good game, but they're... The next time I watch a WNBA game will be the first time I watch a WNBA game. Hey, WNBA, I got an idea that'll sell some tickets, shirts and skins. It was a bad week for the restaurant chain Hooters. The company has been forced to pay $3.75 million to settle a sex discrimination suit brought by male job applicants who claim that its policy of hiring only women is unfair. The settlement was hailed as a landmark case for guys who try to ruin everything. According to a new survey by the Women's Vote Project, women would be more likely to vote if they could send in ballots by mail or if polls were open longer. Also, more women would vote if you were permitted to bake your vote. They like to bake. Safer drivers, men or women? Well, according to a new survey, 55% of adults feel that women are most responsible for minor fender benders, while 78% blame men for most fatal crashes. Please note that the percentages in these pie graphs do not add up to 100% because the math was done by a woman. For those of you hissing at that joke, it should be noted that that joke was written by a woman. So now you don't know what the hell to do. No, I'm just kidding. We don't hire women.
I didn't know him that well in the 90s. And then when my dad died, I had to do a movie with Norm. And I tried everything to get out of that movie because I was inconsolable. And I couldn't get out of it. And working with him was the greatest thing that ever happened to me. It was like he was the right guy at the right time. I was inconsolable.
Did he talk to you about your dad a lot? Or what did he do?
Never came up.
Uh-huh.
He just made me laugh.
Yeah, right.
He just, and it was, wistful and musing. And Norman's, you never knew he was setting something up or not. We were just hanging out, and all of a sudden it'd be like this punchline out of nowhere. But it started to become like work was like a church I go to. Like I couldn't wait to get to work and just hang around this guy.
Oh, that's sweet.
And I knew he was special.
Yeah.
And I've known people for years and years that didn't make me laugh as much as he did in that 8 or 10 weeks. So he's like a real special person to me. And the way he's funny, I just never seen someone get at it like that. That was great.
He came on our show one time, your old studio, the late night show, and I went in just to say hi before the segment, and he's in the dressing room right outside the double doors, inconsolable, because he had bet on a big game that had just ended.
Oh, yeah.
I'm there to try and make sure that the guest is in a good mood.
Right.
We're going to have a good ramp up. And I remembered him, that's a lot of money. And I hear the band outside. It's going to be good time show business with a man that just lost $55,000. Who knows what he lost, you know?
Recently destitute Norm Macdonald.
Exactly, yeah.
Did he give that up? Do we know?
I don't know.
I don't know 100%.
When it was him reading an excerpt from his book or his book on tape, where he describes his gambling addiction, so poetically.
Oh wow!
He talks about roulette.
Roulette,
Yeah, it's a book on tape.
How hopeful it is to be he's addicted to the hope of it.
Mm-hmm. And there's no way you can talk about Norm and not, because we all know that gambling was, part of his life, and you can just, in his comedy, he's just always putting everything on 17 red or 35 red. It's like, that's amazing that it's really the same, the same thrill.
Yeah, you're right. That's interesting.
I'm not taking that, I
have a funny Norm gambling one. So, and this is everything is true. So, because some of it doesn't make sense, but we lived in the same building. I went up to visit him in his room. We come up at his apartment. That was going into his apartment was bananas as it is. But we're having a nice time, and I say, "You got any soda?" And I open up his fridge, and I swear to God, $25,000 worth of chips. Atlantic City chips are in his fridge, and I go, "What's this?" He goes, "Oh, I won big. I won big on Friday." And I said, well, why did you cash it in, buddy? He goes, well, I brought it here so I could talk to Bernie Brillstein to see how I don't have to pay taxes on it. So I go, oh, and he goes, yeah, so I'm going to bring it back Monday. And he told me no matter what, I got to pay taxes. So, it didn't work out there. So whatever, I go, oh, that sucks. So anyways, I see him at Saturday Night Live on Monday. I go, did you cash that in? He goes, I lost it all.
We go down the elevators, and they have limos for us for the SNL to go to the after party. So we get in them, and then Max, the guy, goes, "Oh yeah, Norm sometimes takes his to Atlantic City." So he just skips the party. They go right there, and that Monday he comes back. He said the same thing. He goes, he keeps chips in his refrigerator because no one looks in the fridge if they're robbing him.
Oh,
that was another.
That's ingenious.
Better than the Bernie.
That's what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Tell you, I have so many Norm stories, but this is one of my favorites. And I was on tour, me, Sandler, Spade, Rob Schneider. And Norm was kind of like the wild card. He would pop in for certain dates. So believe Mohican Sun in Connecticut, and we're backstage. Everyone's in Sandler's green room talking, shooting the shit. And me and Norm are in the hallway hanging out. And I don't know why I did this. This long hallway, and this guy walks in. Way down the hallway, walks in the door. And I'm like looking, and we're always kind of suspicious about people that come backstage. And I go, I think that guy's a gun. And Norm goes, what? And I go, I think that guy's a fucking gun, dude. And he's like, oh my God. And he runs into Sandler's room and he goes, there's a gun. There's a man with a gun. And I was like, no, there's not. There's not. I was, no, I'm joking. There's not. And he goes, no, next to there's a guy with a gun. And Sandler goes, what the fuck? There's a guy with a fucking gun? And Spade's like, oh no, what the fuck? What's going on? And I'm like, no, there's no gun. There's no gun. I was making like a joke just for Norm. And Norm's like, what? How's that a joke? And I'm like, I don't know. And Sandler was like, what the fuck is wrong with you? And I'm like, I don't know, man. Spade's like, yeah, real cool, man. And I'm like, I'm just going to go to my room. And Norm's like, Yeah, I thought there was a gun. I'm sorry. Nick said it. I'm like, good Lord.
Real
And
buzzkill.
then the guy walked past and it was a security guard. But yeah.
So he really did have a gun.
He didn't have a gun, but he just looked like somebody that would have a gun.
Yeah, well, people use guns for security, man.
It was just not a good joke on my part, especially poor Norm.
Do you hear my
Well, 3 months in.
Do you hear my Wake Up Maggie? You know Maggie May?
Yeah.
By Rod Stewart.
Yes, I do.
Well, you want to hear my impression of Gordon Lightfoot doing that? First
Absolutely.
5 lines
Canadian
of the
hero,
song?
Gordon Lightfoot.
Yeah.
She told me a riddle I'll never forget. Then she left with the answer I've never found yet.
Wake up, Maggie, I think I got something to say to you. It's late September and I really should be back at school. I know I keep you amused, but I feel I'm being used. Oh, Maggie, I couldn't have tried anymore.
I was like he was here. That was unbelievable.
He has a very unsexy voice. It only works that time if you have a sexy voice.
Where does he rank in the Canadian pantheon?
He's pretty high up
there. Is he higher than Bryan Adams?
Oh, yeah. He's higher than Bryan Adams. You know, I guess the highest is like Neil Young. He's the great-granddaddy of them all.
I don't think I knew that Neil Young was Canadian.
Oh, yeah, man. I'll give you even a better story, you know, than that. Every story's better than that story. No, but he was, his father, Scott Young, was a sports reporter for the Toronto Globe and Mail.
Yeah.
And he was one of our better sports scribes, you know. He was a credit to the fifth estate, as they call sports writing. No, but anyways, he was an old fella, you know,
Yeah.
a tough old bird, but a beautiful writer, you know, as was his son. So he was estranged from his son because he became a hippie. And then one day, Scott Young, at 55, was driving down the 401 in Toronto, and the song came over the radio, Old Man, Take a Look at My Life, that he had written, you know, for his father, and his father phoned him, and they've been close ever since. Isn't that beautiful?
Wow. I never knew what the genesis was behind that song.
Yeah. Old man, take a look at your life.
Emotional.
I'm a lot like you are.
Wait a
Maggie, I could. Okay, whatever.
So,
I need your love. You free my mind. I need your love. Yeah, you free my mind.
Gordon Lightfoot, one of my favorite singers and performers. He's also a close personal friend of mine. Phone him and ask him. He'll tell you. You know, if Gordon were here tonight, and if he dressed himself, and if he played the piano, and if his favorite singer were Rod Stewart, you might hear something like this.
Wake up, Maggie, I think I got something to say to you. It's late September and I really should be back at school. Or find myself a rock and roll band that needs a helping hand. Oh, Maggie, I wish I had never seen your face. You made a first-class fool out of me. Now I'm as blind as a boy can be. Oh, Maggie, I wish I had never seen your face.
He did this bit for us that he insisted on doing.
Sully Sullenberger?
Yes. He did a bit where he you know, he came out and he's like, yeah, Conan, I've made a movie. And I'm like, oh, really? You've made a movie? And yeah, I funded it myself. And of course, and it was about Sully Sullenberger, who landed.
Sully Sullenberger biography.
Yeah, biography about the pilot who landed the plane. And I think maintained that he did this. He had this idea before Tom Hanks. So he's a little indignant.
Well, it was actually, we showed it before Hanks ever made the movie.
Oh, is that true? Okay,
yes.
all right. It was 2009.
It was right after Sully Sullenberger heroically landed on the Hudson.
And so he shot this thing, and he got to our show early, and of course it looks like shit because we just had
It's fast,
with the barest cockpit set.
Are you familiar with Sully Sullenberger?
The captain who landed the plane on the Hudson. Everybody knows Captain Sully Sullenberger.
Everybody now knows who he is. I've known him for quite a long time.
You knew him before this whole thing happened?
I knew him 10 years ago.
You knew Sully Sullenberger, the captain who landed the plane on the Hudson, that long?
Yes.
10 years?
Yes. And I, as soon as I first met him, I thought there's something special about this guy, and I bought his story.
You're kidding. That's fantastic. That's great.
Yeah, I met him in, where did I meet him? Airport. I met him. It was a Sbarro's.
Uh-huh. That adds up, yeah.
And he was getting pizzas. He was getting pepperoni, but anyway, whatever. So
To this day, I don't know what that sketch is.
Well, it was a dry bit. It was a very dry sketch.
It was one of the driest things I've ever seen.
So the idea is that Sully Sullenberger heroically landed on the Hudson like around that time.
Yeah.
He made this movie about Sully Sullenberger, but 6 months it's been in the can. So he was looking for an ending.
Yeah.
And this guy lands. So basically,
no. The joke is
the clip.
He made a movie about Sully Sullenberger before he heroically landed the plane on the. So
So the clip is him landing on the tarmac. That's
successfully. He successfully lands the plane
and says, "Thanks for flying American Airlines.
Yes,
have a good day."
So I heard you made a movie. This is going to be a huge movie. You have the movie of Captain Sully Sullenberger.
Yeah, I could. But save it up for the thing. Now listen, you know why you're standing up here. I'm just kidding you. I love you. That's why. Hey, you wanna land this?
Yeah.
Pretty well lands itself. But mostly, I know there's not enough time, but mostly we talked about it was a love story.
What? A love story with who?
Him and his wife, Lori Sungelberger. What was her name? I wrote this bit 25 minutes ago.
You want the clip or should we get out of here?
No, we should do the clip.
All right, take a look at this clip.
Sully, why didn't you give me a seat? Why do I
break it here, I guess?
A clip, and this must have exciting footage.
Well,
This story, the end of this story is incredible. When the engines go out and
the movie's been in the can for 6 months.
You made a movie about Captain Sully Sullenberger, and you finished it before he even crashed the plane on the Hudson, landed
Yeah, and it's too bad, man, because I was struggling for an ending for a long time. It's called Sully Sullenberger. Sully Sullenberger.
You clearly spent 10 years you've known this man? You didn't you forgot the at the end of his name?
I call him by a nickname, whatever. It's called Sully Sullenberger, Airport Pilot. But anyways, I brought a clip.
Oh, let's take a look at the clip.
Can I say something?
Yeah.
I play Sully.
You play Sully in the movie? We have to see this now. Unbelievably, this was shot before the incident that made him famous, but let's take a look.
On behalf of U.S. Airline, we know you have a lot of choices to make, and we're glad you chose us. Have fun in Kansas City, everybody. It's not a good ending.
It's a terrible ending.
It's the worst possible ending. I keep saying reshoots, and they have no money for reshoots. They're like, I said a long shot of the Hudson. Nothing.
No, that's not going to do it.
And he insisted on using the woman who did his makeup, Deborah Pullman. He insisted on using her in the bit, even though it's not even clear why he needed her in the bit.
His wife played his wife.
Yeah, played his wife, and.
I have to stand here for the whole flight.
I told you it's cheaper.
So the joke is that, amazingly, a director decides to make a movie about a random pilot, Sully Sullenberger, and makes it about a successful landing before the most dramatic landing in the history of aviation. And he showed this thing. I think he had a fake mustache on. But he's barely, and this is another thing I love about him. He didn't care at all about the craft of acting. And I'll watch.
Let's talk about you now. Let me ask you something.
Yes,
Another guy from Canada has come and invaded show business here in the United States.
With an acerbic wit.
So many funny guys come out of Canada. What is it about Canada that produces all these comedians? What do you think it is?
I don't know, because when I'm in Canada, no one's funny.
You think it's the long, dark, cold winters? You just got to find something to laugh about?
We don't have dark winters. We don't live in the Arctic Circle.
But they're long, aren't they?
They're long and cold, and they're cold.
And really cold.
Yeah, they're cold.
So when you're a kid up in Canada...
I don't want to put too fine a point on it, but they're cold.
You said this is the coldest you've ever been. You're Canadian, so are you okay with this?
I've been colder than this. I've been colder than a vampire's...
Go on.
That's like
We're
an
waiting.
8 a.m. joke.
We can do it at 7:19. The stage is yours.
Are you drunk? Because all you did was ride a cooler and you're sweating.
I am. Well, it's hot it's hotter than a $2
Well, he's
pistol
got like
in here.
12 layers on.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be really cold.
Well, you're from Canada. This should be springtime for you.
No, I know I'm from Canada, but I'm still a human being. Like it's not like we evolved differently. I'm from the frozen north.
Yeah.
Yeah, it gets colder than It gets colder than a...
here it comes. Get your finger on the panic button.
No, it gets colder than a vampire's demeanor.
Okay, that's better.
Wow. Surprisingly cerebral.
One time I kissed Relic.
The Beachcombers?
Yeah.
Were you on a ferry or?
No, that Indian guy from the show gave me some bad heroin.
That's not true.
No.
You made that
up. I didn't make that part up, but I did have a long kiss with Relic.
For a show or just party?
Yeah, no, I was supposed to be on the Beachcombers.
Right, that would have been awesome. With Jackson Davies, too?
Yeah. And turns out I was never going to be on the Beachcombers, and I was just going to be in Relic's hotel room.
What, were you in Vancouver?
Yeah, I was in Vancouver, and I'm like, this is going to be the greatest. I'm going to be, I was supposed to be like the new breed of the beachcomber and everything. That's what Relic said.
So this is a next generation beachcomber thing?
Exactly.
Okay.
Beachcomber the next generation. Relic was supposed to be the executive producer, and he'd make occasional appearances. This is what he told me in his hotel room.
Come on. This didn't happen.
No, it didn't happen.
Okay. I got to read this book. Sean.
Hey, I should put that in the book.
You should. I know there's a couple generations maybe between you two as comedians. Looking at.
A couple?
Watching Norm over the years and some of the characters, what's it like being alongside one of the best?
Oh, it's great. I mean, I love Dirty Work, and I love Saturday Night Live. And then I worked with Norm. He was my boss, my first boss in Los Angeles.
Yeah, Sean's awesome, man. Future of comedy. If you show this clip like 10, 20 years from now, you're going to go, who's that old guy talking about, who the hell is Relic?
Oh, I love that
I'll
story.
be like Relic, and he'll be like me, like 20 years, when you look at this in the fall. In Canada, it's different. Like here in the States, you vote for the president, maybe you vote for the wrong guy, a war happens.
Right.
In Canada, it's not like that. You go, like, what's the big thing? Should they make that bridge?
Right, that's the biggest.
Yeah, so it doesn't really matter. So it's, you know,
It's too much
we're
pressure.
very inconsequential, Canada.
Yeah.
Last time I performed here at the Just for Laughs Gala was 25 years ago, and I did so well, they invited me back. So that was nice. I love Montreal, my God, you know, and call me an eternal optimist, you know, but I really believe in my heart that this is the year that the Expos are finally going to win it all. Montreal, famous for a lot of things, you know, one of them being the greatest strip clubs in all of the world. Yeah. Last night, are you aware of Club Super Sex? Yeah, so last night I went to Club Super Sex. I chose the soup. Big mistake. Hey, big election coming up, and in Canada, this is the difference in elections in America and Canada, is elections in America mean something. You vote for the wrong motherfucker, the world blows up. I don't need that on my hands. Whereas Canada, you know, it's always like, well, what's your view on the bridge? I say keep as it is. I don't think they need to clean that up. That's fine. It was easy when I was young to vote because it was simply, you know, you just didn't vote for the French guy. It couldn't have been an easier choice. As a matter of fact, I almost feel like coming back this fall just as an homage to my late father and not vote for Trudeau. My dad did not like Trudeau. Trudeau was my hero, though. I loved him, you know. And since I've come back, I've been watching the news and everything. I've been seeing Justin, you know. And I thought, by God, you know, this Justin kid, he must be brilliant because his father was Pierre Elliott Trudeau. But then I forgot, he's got a mother. So that's kind of evens everything out. You know, what's also different in American and Canadian elections? In America, you get to vote for the President of the United States, and in Canada, you vote for some motherfucker who lived down the street. In your riding. Whatever the hell that is. So then, that guy, he goes to the House of Parliament, you know, and he's like, oh, wow, this is big. And then the speaker's like, all right, well, what are we going to talk about? Anybody want to bring an issue? And then your guy's like, yeah, I just, our bridge ain't looking too good. The speaker's like, what the fuck are you talking about? I go, no, I'll sit down. Sorry about that, I just...
I'm scared of letting go, go. I'm scared of letting go, go. I'm scared of letting go. I'm scared of letting go of everything. Scared of letting go.
Thank you and good evening. I'm Norm McDonald, and I could not be more excited to be here. You know, when I was asked to host the Canadian Screen Awards, I called my good friend Chris Rock, and I said to him, I've got some great news, Chris. I'm going to Canada. And he said, I've got some great news, too. I'm hosting the Oscars. What are you doing in Canada? And I said, you know, visiting some family, friends. the usual. We're coming to you live from Toronto, or as you cost-cutting location scouts call it, New York City. Never has there been such an assembly of great Canadian talent in a single location that did not have to be zambonied first. Tonight, the CSAs are being seen in over 50 countries. Isn't that exciting? Oh, wait, I'm sorry. No, wait. I misread that. 50 counties. And a couple of regional municipalities. We are here to celebrate nominees for their wonderful work in Canadian cinema and television, which is a lot like celebrating the Northern Lights. You probably haven't seen them, but you've heard they're amazing. We have a lot to celebrate in our industry. Amongst the TV shows nominated tonight are Amazing Race Canada, Big Brother Canada, Master Chef Canada. Where do they come up with these ideas? But it's been a wonderful year for Canada. It's been an especially great year for one little guy, one adorable little Canadian youngster who's already accomplished so much. Of course, you know who I'm talking about, Justin Trudeau. Hasn't he had a wonderful year? It's been a busy weekend getting here. We lost an hour. As you know, daylight savings time went into effect last night. I give it 6 months. Well, we're going to start the show, but I was... It hasn't started yet. You didn't know. I saw a wild look of alarm cross your eyes. But I was backstage yesterday, and we were doing rehearsals, and I asked, what is the statuette called? And they said, it's called the Canadian Screen Award. And I said, well, that seems kind of dull. Like, what? That's the name of the award? And they said, well, we've been bandying around different names, but none of, they said in Canada it takes a long time to get stuff done and stuff. But one of them that they said, one of them they mentioned was the Candy. And I think John Candy, I mean, who doesn't love John Candy? So, of course, this statuette should be called the Candies. So what I'm asking you to do is, if you are a presenter, ignore the teleprompter and say, the candy goes to. And if you are lucky enough to win one, go, I want a candy. What do you think of that? Can you go along with that? Excellent. That would make us a better nation. I am not here to upbraid. However, I think I made it quite clear that these awards should be referred to as the Candies. A 9-year-old child knew. Are you so burdened with this preposterous technology? So I would like not to see that again. Backstage I was thinking how different things are since I moved to the United States. Now I'm in the United States. One thing I've noticed about films, I don't like foreign films anymore. They're all like artsy, kind of not my cup of tea. But when I grew up in Ottawa, by God, I loved foreign films. Star Wars, Smokey and the Bandit. Do you remember that one? Here to present our next award, the Candy. And this will be the end of my upbraiding, I hope. George St. Kitts and the Candy Band. Who can take a sunrise? Come on, guys. Sprinkle it, but they can't. Well, whatever. Well, our next presenters are political people. And it made me think, because I was just told Cape Breton Island, I don't know if you know this, but they are offering sanctuary to anyone that lives in America after Trump is elected president by a landslide. And I agree with this in principle, but why Cape Breton Island? I mean, can't I just flee to Toronto? Do I have to leave the fucking planet? I mean, I just go to Baffin Island while I'm at it. All right, now welcome to the stage, 2 Canadian. Oh, the Candies are going great so far, aren't they? I would like to say to Eugene Levy that there's no reason to be ashamed of your son. My son only this morning punched me in the chest really hard. Listen, I have some good news. I just found out that all of you here tonight will be getting a swag bag. Yeah. Just like the Oscars. I haven't seen one yet, but why don't we take a look and see what you're getting? I'm going to call Megan, our golden girl, out. Megan, our golden girl? Hi, Megan. Come on out here. Ah, you brought the swag bag. Yes, can you hold it open? And then I'll take things out of the swag bag. What do we have here? A loose pancake. What else we got here, Megan? We got, oh, this looks cool. It's a CD, you know what they are, of Nelly Furtado singing all the national anthems. Torn from today's headlines. See what else we have. Well, we have this. Ah, yes, this. This is a bottle of Eau de John Cherry Cologne. It's for the gentlemen in the audience. Now, what else do we have? Hopefully something a little funnier than the last one. Here. We have a 30-minute massage from producer Robert Lantos. Don't try to go for 50. You only can hit 30. And then what else do we have here? Oh, a curling stone. You know what these are made of? I always took them for granite. Last time I take a joke from Martin Short. All right. Megan, just do some house cleaning here. Having a hand for Megan, our Golden Globe. A natural mistake. All right. Listen, guys. For some reason, I've been told to stretch. So, oh, I've never tried that before. The show's over, folks. Good night. But for the first candies, respect, peace.
The Nicolas Cage stuff is very similar, where it's just nobody can really do what he does. I also love Nicolas Cage.
You said you could do Nicolas Cage.
I cannot do Nicolas. I've heard that I heard my voice sometimes sounds like him, and I've been told I look like him sometimes, but no.
That's how I got started, was people with that one. People said when I was little they thought I was his son, I mean, I don't think they thought that.
You do look like
they
Nicolas
said
Cage.
A lot, yeah.
they are you his
Way more. Yeah.
Let's hear your Nicolas Cage.
I don't have a Nicolas Cage.
I know you said you did.
No, I don't have a Nicolas Cage.
You told me that a Nicolas Cage that made Simon Helberg sound like shit. No, he did.
My Nicolas Cage sounds a lot like your fucking Christopher Walken.
Whatever. I don't do a very good Christopher.
You don't need to do a good one to do that.
But I am Christopher Walken. Jesus Christ. You never heard me, Christopher Walken?
I like that.
I never heard it before either. I just assumed everyone could do it.
Everyone does it.
So I tried. How do we get him to do Nicolas Cage? I feel embarrassing.
It's hard, I know. Can we'd love it if we could hear your Nicolas Cage.
All right, well, he does like,
Well, yeah, that's just wonderful to hear, and maybe on the way out we can stop in the gift shop, but right now, I don't know, I really want to find some rockets! Yahoo!
There you go. He has a little bit too.
No, right.
Well, I mean, it's not.
I didn't say I look like. I just said I've had people sometimes.
Well, that's the same thing as saying you look like him.
No, you're right.
You know, everybody always says I look like him.
I would say always.
Whatever. You watched a lot of Nicolas Cage, right?
I did watch a lot.
You have a
He's
favorite?
seen every Nicolas Cage movie.
Well, no, up until like probably about 15 years ago. Well, they started getting real. Like I'm not gonna do it anymore. I can't. He was great. He's either the greatest actor in the world or the worst actor in the world.
Leaving Las Vegas.
Yeah, that was a great one.
That was like when it. Then it was the divide came, I think, when he did The Rock, and you were sort of like, okay, I'll accept this Michael Bay, like I'll accept this because maybe you're self-aware, but then he did Con Air, and he had that mullet and a southern accent, and it just like all went downhill.
No, you nailed it. That's exactly when.
Started buying islands.
He spent all his money on stuff.
I like islands.
Islands?
I think plural.
Wow. How much did I heard he already bought his gravesite or something, and I thought it was like a pyramid. It's like, I don't know if that's.
He blew all his money on his gravesite?
It's like a giant pyramid.
Oh, like National Treasure?
Yeah.
That's another Nicolas Cage.
Yeah, I haven't seen that.
Yeah. Nick Cage. Face Off?
Face Off?
That was
Fast Times at Ridgemont High. Briefly.
Fast Times at Ridgemont High.
He just went right to one where he was barely there.
Yeah. No, Raising Arizona. I don't think anything tops that for me.
You have to put it in the right file, according to alphabetical order. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, Z.
I saw Jimmy Brogan one time, and he was like, you wouldn't curse.
Right.
And heckled mercilessly at the Laugh Factory. And so the guy was like, you fucking cocksucker. He's like, very nice, sir. Yeah, very good, yeah. Do you talk to your mother like that? Yeah, why do you suck my cock, you fucker? Very nice, yeah. Good for you, then.
That's a funny way to handle that, isn't it?
Sometimes I was a little blue on stage.
Yeah.
And then afterwards, I just try to avoid Jimmy. Because he'd seek me out and go, you're a funny guy. You got some good jokes. You don't have to do that.
That's a funny impression.
That one time, Michael Richards, this was before the catastrophe.
Yeah.
And he said, I'm going to go across the country. He would walk on stage and fall and hit it. And the funniest thing I've ever seen. And then he'd start talking about the Bible. And then he said to me, he goes, I'm going to go around the country. Do you think a man could live inside a whale? I go, you shouldn't talk about that. The only guy I can really do is Richard Nixon. He's being interviewed by David Frost.
Right.
And they made a movie where they pretended David Frost
Frost
won,
Nixon.
but in the real tapes, Nixon won, clearly.
Right.
But anyways, it was very funny because Nixon would use the ridiculousness of Watergate against his interlocutor.
Right.
And so David Frost was interviewing Richard Nixon.
Right.
Because Watergate was so ridiculous, Nixon would use that for his own benefit. So at one point, David Frost goes, now, Mr. Nixon, when E. Howard Hunt
and Gordon Liddy entered the Watergate hotel and broke into the room. At that moment, they were carrying listening devices and wigs. Richard Nixon goes, well, I suppose that they were carrying listening devices. Perhaps you could call them hearing devices. And wigs. Says now when Howard Hunt and G. Gordon Liddy broke into the Watergate Hotel, they were wearing wigs and listening devices. And Richard Nixon goes, well, I suppose you could say they were wearing listening devices, or perhaps you'd call them hearing devices. And wigs.
I never knew that you had such a flair for impressions. They're really, really good impressions.
I don't do impressions, but I just...
And the Jimmy Brogan, I've never seen anybody do Jimmy Brogan. That was great. I love the Jimmy Brogan.
I went to Rodney Dangerfield's club when I was in Century City in Los Angeles. He opened one.
Yeah.
For a short time.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. And so the comics would come up, and then after the comics came up, he'd come up. And he'd be wearing his pajamas half the time.
Right, yeah.
And so he'd take questions from the audience. It was funny because most of the questions were jokes, but then suddenly he'd be honest. So they go, how's your dog? Oh, you kidding, Viddy Moomba, last week he said he had 4 cases of VD. He's all right now, But it's like, how's your dating life going, Rodney? Are you kidding,
I need your love.
This is what I saw one time. It was the day he got married. He stopped at the Improv to do a set. His wife was in a wedding dress, and he introduced her.
Come on.
Yeah, he said, they give her a hand. I just got married, all right, okay? And the woman stands up in a fucking wedding dress, and everyone claps, and then he goes, she's no prize. He goes, she says, we have so much in common. I said, I don't like to suck dick. And now she sits down. It's her wedding day. But anyways, so I see Rodney, and he's taking questions from the audience. And so they ask him about his doctor. So he says, Vinny Boombaz is doing all right. Asked about his kids. Nothing, no respect at all. He says, one guy says, when are you going to do your next movie? You tell me, you cocksucker, motherfuckers. Everyone's like, what? Motherfuckers won't give me a movie after fucking Harry Basil. Are you kidding me?
Like her.
Another terrific impression. Fantastic.
I love it.
Your last Letterman with the World War I and II bit. I have never heard more comics talk about a bit. And I heard that you put a lot of work into that.
Goddamn right I did.
But didn't he do the Hitler bit too about it? Where Germany challenges the world. And then they fought the world again.
Yeah, those are comedy. Isn't Hitler a comedy killer, though? Wouldn't that be one of those things? That
No,
you
you kidding me?
Well,
Hitler's like, there's no comedy killer nowadays. You know what I mean?
Not anymore?
I feel like just the opposite. I feel like there's almost fake shock sometimes where it's like people, you know what I mean? So it's like, that's almost like a comedy helper in some ways.
Right.
Not the way Norm did it. That was a different bit.
But he had a great joke about I don't know if you guys are here. He goes, I got no problem with, North Korea. I never lay in bed. They try to scare you on the news, He goes, but I never woke up North Korea. I hope they don't get me, And nobody really laughed, but did you hear Letterman cackling in the background? And you realize it's just with Norm, it's all, you are being fucking played. When you think he's bombing, it's all a big setup to the fucking, in a year, he's going to have the perfect special ever.
You might as well sit with Norm and just keep a smile on your face because you don't know where you are in the joke.
There is one country that worries me, though. Not Iraq, not Iran, not North Korea. The only country that really worries me is the country of Germany. I don't know if you guys are history buffs or not, but...
Well, I did see that Norm was Letterman's choice to be his last stand-up. I thought that was pretty.
That was
neat.
a funny bit too about
that was great.
World War II.
Well, which one? The funniest bit I thought of Norm's that he said was how your phones change everything now.
Right.
That is a picture. He's got one grainy picture of his great-grandfather, like separating the hogs on the farm.
Right.
But now, because everybody's got a phone right now, somebody from years from now, here's 1 million pictures of my great-grandfather doing everything in their life.
And Norm's face when he did his grandfather,
he's
just horrified that someone's taking his picture, like, just looking like in shock, like, don't take my picture.
Yeah.
Oh, that was a great bit.
I got a picture of my great-grandfather. The thing took 6 hours. Take your picture, and there's a picture of my great-grandfather, one. They only had, every guy had one picture back then. And it's just him like. I gotta get back, feed them hogs. Who's gonna feed the hogs?
So my next big hero after Letterman's got to be Norm Macdonald. What did you learn about his set for his last appearance?
Well, that is hands down every single person that I talked to. I asked them what their favorite appearance is, and like no joke, Norm Macdonald was what everyone pointed to. And my editor kept saying, you got to cut this down. Like, it's just over and over again of people saying Norm's great. And I was like, no, it really was that good. Like, it has to be the longest part of the book.
Nice. Now I'm really going to get the book. That's awesome.
And so Jerry
he was
Foley.
lying to you before. Now he's
Yeah.
really gonna find out.
yeah, now. And well, that's because I said I never send them for free. So now he's like, I mean, I know I'm supposed to. It kills my publicist. We're off topic already. But my publicist keeps saying, you know, like, Iowa station wants to do a thing. Send him a book. And I'm like, what? I have to pay for those. Anyway, back to Norm. Jerry Foley was the director on The Late Show. And he said that Norm showed up like super early, like way earlier than anyone would. And he didn't want to tell anyone what he was going to do, what his monologue was going to be about. And he was just sort of walking around, just like soaking in the building because he wanted to spend as much time as he could there. And so, and they were kind of concerned because you don't know what he's going to do and they have to be sure Dave will like it, and you know. And so he kind of took him aside, and he said he didn't really know Norm very well. Like, he didn't have some bond with him, but he said, you know, you've got to kind of share with me what you're going to do today so we can help you. And it kind of opens up this notebook, and it is napkins and like receipts and all of these notepads where they said they could just tell he had been working on it forever.
Oh, wow.
And even like in the cab over, he said, when I just came up with this, and I don't know if you guys remember his set, but I think it's the best stand-up set that's ever been performed on late night television.
I definitely agree. And did Dave like it?
Yeah, I mean, Dave was really embarrassed by it in a good way, but I mean, he just couldn't believe, because Norm breaks down crying in the set. I mean, that's crazy in itself. And he told him he loved him. Norm told Dave, and you know, Dave doesn't really like that stuff. And I think Bill Sheff says, like, Dave just doesn't want to hear that kind of stuff. But it's true.
Yeah.
Norm Macdonald was just on David Letterman.
I heard he cried. He was so upset.
He cried, and it was like really like beautiful.
Yeah.
A lot of people remember back in May when Letterman retired, you were one of the last guests, and you got pretty choked up.
Well,
It was a pretty emotional time, wasn't it?
No, Letterman, I think Letterman, like, he was my hero, but I think he was everybody's hero. He changed the way people talk in America, and, you know, he really helped me when other people didn't like me.
You did a poetic goodbye to David Letterman, did you not?
Well, I did. This is what I did. I wanted to do stand-up because I did stand-up on his show 25 years ago. And so I did stand-up, and I did the best stand-up I could possibly do. And then I did a joke that I remember David Letterman doing when I was young. That's still remains my favorite joke. And then I got a little teary. I choked up. I didn't realize I was going to choke up. And then I certainly didn't realize I was going to tell him I love him. I said, I love you.
He was emotional at saying goodbye to you on the show.
At the time when, and like Conan suggests, I didn't know he was ill, so surprised. In thinking about that moment, he must have known a great deal about what his future was and how long it might have been. I always took it as an enormous compliment that my emotional situation had affected him.
Right.
But now, to be fair, this guy knew more than just I was leaving.
Take me on a journey. Take me far away from this life. I'd leave it in a hurry. Let's run away before morning light. You.
As I'd just like to say, I know that Mr. Letterman is not for the mawkish, and he has no truck for the sentimental. But if something is true, it is not sentimental. And I say in truth, I love you.
Oh, my God. Very funny, Norm. And thank you. Thank you for everything.
Thank you.
Norm McDonald, ladies and gentlemen. That was very sweet, Norm.
Across the Great Plains, harsh weather and hungry boll weevils are the cause of one of the worst cotton harvests in years. Or so the Germans would have us believe. Last Sunday's National Hockey League game between the Buffalo Sabres and the Tampa Bay Lightning was postponed due to record snowfall in Buffalo. Or so the Germans would have us believe. This year's lack of snow in Alaska could help generate a surplus of moose next year, because deep snow makes it harder for moose to search for food, which leaves them more vulnerable to wolves. Or so the Germans would have us believe. In Fort Pierce, Florida, many Bell South customers will no longer pay long-distance phone rates for nearby calls, but will instead be charged with a flat rate of 25 cents. Or so the Germans would have us believe. In Little Rock, Arkansas, a consumer group is proceeding with a petition drive to get a proposal on the November ballot that would exempt food from state sales tax. Or so the Germans would have us believe. In St. Louis, archaeologists will use special radar on nearby landfills in an effort to find the 70-foot axle from a Ferris wheel, which was the centerpiece of the 1904 World's Fair. Or so the Germans would have us believe. And finally,
I'm scared of letting go, go. I'm scared of letting go, go. I'm scared of letting go. I'm scared of letting go of everything. I'm scared of letting.
Last year, German Shepherds were rated the nation's most effective police dogs by far, sniffing out more than $100 million worth of illegal drugs. Or so the German Shepherds would have us believe.